All right, easy here for my latest partner, ExpressVPN. You're like, what the hell is that? I'll get to that. Calm down. First of all, going online without ExpressVPN is like forgetting to mute yourself on a Zoom meeting. Do you really want all of your coworkers to hear you trash talking them? Okay, so that's kind of like helping me illustrate to you what's up. Why everybody needs a VPN. Okay, so everything you do online, the shows you watch, the websites you go to, anything you do online, that gets sent to your internet service provider, including your mobile network providers. They know every single website you visit. All right? Reroute 100% of your traffic to ExpressVPN through their secure encrypted servers so your ISP cannot see your browsing history. Privacy is really big to a lot of folks, so that's why this is very, very important. ExpressVPN is the best. They hide your IP address, making it extremely difficult for third parties to track your online activity. That's important for your old pal EZ because with my setup, I can't have any compromises. My internet is so important for doing what I do that if anything affects what I do, that's trouble. That's why I use ExpressVPN. Very easy to use. You just fire up the app and click one button to get protected. Works on all of your devices too, phones, laptops, tablets, more, so you can stay private on the go. I swear by this, and my life is so much easier now that the Eric Zane Show podcast is utilizing ExpressVPN. So what you need to do is protect your online privacy today by visiting expressvpn.com/Zane. That's expressvpn.com/Zane. And you can get an extra 3 months free. expressvpn.com/Zane. Oh, hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Welcome in to the Eric Zane Show podcast, the daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. Very important that I start not overextending myself. There's a contraption that we have here. It's called a car dolly. It's 2 wheels, a couple of ramps. You put the front end of your car on it. You put these straps on the front tires. You take your car anywhere you want to go. You can tow it. Oh, hey, Darla. So we were doing that this past weekend. And I got home and pulled the camper in the driveway, took the car off the dolly, and then I got to put the dolly in the garage. I have a typical driveway. It's slanted down. You know, I'm not made like I used to be. So it doesn't, I mean, back when I was in shape, rolling the dolly uphill, like pulling it with just people power, me, was hard. And I'm remarkably weaker since then. But there I was, rolling that fucking thing up the damn driveway. I got it all the way up there, put it into the garage, and I still got it. Still got it. But little did I know that something wrong had happened. I didn't know it then. But like 2 a.m, I'm laying there and I'm like, what the fuck? And so I think I ruptured all of my internal organs on one side of my body. I know. Everyone's going, oh yeah, go see a chiropractor. So it's you know it's bad when it hurts to breathe deeply or sneeze. I sneezed today and I thought I mean my God, I saw stars. Last week I kept seeing various people posting some girl's face and it said a Hawk Tua. And I'm like, what is that? I saw this same young girl's face. They put her on the body of Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback. I go, what? I don't understand. What's happening? And even if it's just by accident, you're going to find out what this is. This is one of those viral things that is really, really blown up. A young lady was with her pal walking through the streets of Nashville, and some guy comes walking up. It's he's got a YouTube channel. He'll ask you questions and stuff like that, and he's just kind of like doing an interview with the chick, and he realizes that she's got a bigger than life personality. Stevie says, she's all over my social media, and I'm over it already. Okay, I'm looking at this from a talent perspective. This chick is fucking funny. For her to respond the way she did without missing a beat, rare. You don't find personalities like this that often. She is fucking funny. Okay, this is the original interview that started it all. Some of you may not even know what I'm talking about. You may not have any clue what this is, but this is a video that made everybody laugh and made her an absolute star.
How many is on your roster?
There's only one I want.
Something about men on your roster, and she's talking about her one boyfriend or person she wants.
How many is on your roster?
There's only one I want. I love you, Pookie, forever.
How do you get over a breakup?
The only way to get over one is get under another. Get the cobwebs off this thing.
Okay. The only way to get over one is to get under another. I've never heard anybody say that before, and I don't know if maybe she did make that up. The only way to get over one is to get under another. Gotta knock the cobwebs off this thing.
The only way to get over one is get under another. Get the cobwebs off this thing.
This motherfucker don't miss.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk to it. Spit on that thing. You get me?
You gotta get hawk Tua and spit on that thing. You get me? I like her pal cracking her ass up when she says this.
Crazy every time.
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk to it. Spit on that thing. You get me?
And that's when.
That's hysterical. That's fucking great. Oh, my God. That made me laugh the second I went, oh, this is what everybody's talking about. Jesus Christ, is she quick? You got to give him the old hawk Tua and spit on that thing. You get me? Bob says the memes the past week have been great. Corey says she's got a ton of one-liners. They're all bangers. Kenny says, I can't help but think about the girl's poor father. Oh, look, dude, I can promise you that she has made a lifetime of making him uncomfortable. And he's like, yeah, whatever. He's over it too. This is not trust me. I've got a daughter who's not quite that high octane, but Jackie is a handful. Okay? She says things that make me go, Jesus Christ, stop. It's hysterical. Not a proud father moment in his life. Well, we don't know. Maybe he is proud. Chris says for sure Kenny, LOL. Okay, now there's a lot of backlash on her, and I haven't really unpacked it, but there've been a lot of I saw pictures of her signing hats. She's like selling merch that say Hawk Tua. And so inevitably there's going to be blowback. And it's like, no. This is just one comedic moment for her hanging out, and she's capitalizing. Absolutely. Anybody who hates on her is jealous, or well, I don't know what else you could possibly be other than jealous. That is hysterical. Maybe she's going into a line of work where that's a great icebreaker. Yeah, that's me. I'm the Hawk Tua girl. I don't understand the hate of Hawk Tua girl. Now, there is a double standard, but if you were to, say, if a guy were to be interviewed in the same setting and had the same type of commentary, it would not be good. It would not be good. I think that is such a thing that happens so rarely in chickdom, to have the boldness to say whatever the hell she wants to say, I think is just it's just that. It's rare and hysterical. Patrick says she's funny. She is funny. She strikes me as the type of person that could be really funny for a living if she wanted to. Got a real charisma there that could make money. The MK2 image of Reptile with her head and his acid spit move that has Hawk Tua on it is my favorite. Chris says, imagine waking up the next day and seeing it's gone viral. Crazy how small the world is nowadays. How about the quote, if she doesn't Hawk Tua, I don't want to talk to her, is my favorite T-shirt. Jeremy says, good for her. Turn that 15 seconds of fame into some cash. Megan says, I feel like she's a little like me and Jackie, my daughter. Just says shit to make dad embarrassed. Oh, God. Horrible. Tyler says, I asked my wife to give me some Hawk Tua, and she had no idea what I was talking about because she lives under a rock, apparently. Well, I can tell you this. With the viral sensation of this, it wouldn't surprise me if this has become a maneuver now. Just known as a Hawk Tua. All right. Corey says, I saw someone take the clip of when Bret Hart spit on Vince McMahon and they put Hawk Tua on it. Yeah, the internet is just full of so many fucking funny people. I love it. And then, you know, if it comes to people who do things like that, or just a comment, Megan says the boys at baseball were so embarrassed when they heard the moms laughing about it. Oh, no. I can just imagine. If I'm the age of these boys that you speak of, realizing that my mom and other moms are laughing about a clip where a chick is talking about spitting on a dick. I used to be embarrassed when my mother would use bad words like shit. Let alone my mom laughing. If that happened, my head would have exploded. Holy shit. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea, as Megan is part of like this mom squad, for any chicks in the mom squad to ever say Hawk Tua. Instantly, that's going to create a visual for someone who you're around. Hawk Tua. Just like that, it takes on a life of its own. Because that chick is funny. All right. Megan says they're 13 and 14. Those boys are ruined. Oh, God. Fucking horrible. If you hear a woman talking about it, you kind of can't help but make this face, Kenny writes, and then he posts the emoji of some sly smile. Yeah, I would never, ever post the sly smile unless it was like Diana or someone old. I think if someone were to do Hawk Tua in front of me that was younger, like 38 and down, I'm just going to act like I didn't hear anything. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to act like I don't know what's going on. Patrick says, if I can talk about finger blasting, she can talk Hawk Tua. Bob writes, Taylor Swift makes music for girls that don't Hawk Tua. We don't know that. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got another story. Plunger Hand is back yet again. I told you about the incident that happened in the RV not long ago, and it happened fucking again. So we figured out that this camper that we recently got, this new RV, there was an incident the first time we used the goddamn thing, and the toilet got clogged. And my hand, I'm like, Jesus Christ, we got to unbreak up the clog. So I stuck like a stick down there and it wouldn't work. We ended up, this is horrible. So if you're eating, it's going to be the worst thing ever. Pooh Bear's hand is smaller than mine. She put it all the way down the thing, and she was wearing like a glove, and had to unclog it. It was horrible. So then I'm like, okay, this can never happen again. After scrubbing her arm raw for like an hour, I go, okay, honey. Well, it's very, very important because the toilet is empty. There's no water in it. And if you got to fill it up with water, it's a simple process before the next process happens. If you don't do that, you run a risk. We all know this. Yesterday, I'm up north. And she goes, hey, we got a problem. I go, what's up? She says, the toilet's clogged again. And I go, okay. Well, I think you know what we have to do. Now, I just so happens I've got more of those long yellow gloves that come up to like your elbow. Now, I don't go poop inside of the damn RV when I'm up north. I always go in the outhouse. She will not go in there. And I said, she knows full well that you cannot use that without filling the damn water up. I think we need to bring her in here. This is unbelievable. Hello, Pooh Bear?
Yes, dear.
I was just discussing with the audience about The toilet in the RV.
Oh, God. That is bad news. Bad.
When you walked out of the RV and you broke the news to me.
Yeah.
What were
you?
You
were kind of like...
Yeah.
You're kind of a dickhead about it.
Well, I mean, that's not exactly good news. I don't know what you want me to do. Jump up and down?
No, but you're like, what do you want me to do about it? Okay. I'm like, okay, well, we'll just let shit go everywhere then.
Hold on a second. Well, you knew going in that there's only one way to remedy this situation.
Yes.
And so maybe you didn't want to accept it, but you told me.
Yeah, I didn't. It was not enjoyable, but I did need your help.
I'm going to get into the ins and outs of the rest of the story coming up here. But
okay.
That might be one of the worst things that's ever happened to anyone ever.
Yeah. And I'm not, I mean, I don't gag real easily. I mean, I gag on like cough medicine because I don't like that. But usually stuff doesn't bother me too much. But that made me gag. It was disgusting. And I hope to never have to do that again.
Well, yeah, you got to put water in the bowl.
Yeah. Because
you know, if you just push out a mean log and then drop some toilet paper in there, it's gonna get stopped up. You gotta fill up the bowl.
No, but we have a poop chewer. And won't that work?
The poop chewer is in the tank, so it has to get in the tank first.
Oh.
I've explained this to you.
I couldn't remember how the poop chewer worked. So you can't use a poop chewer as it's going down.
So the audience doesn't know what the poop chewer is. The poop chewer is in the black water tank, and it's like a food processor for shit. But you got to get it in the tank first. It's like a Vitamix. It's like a shit Vitamix is what it is.
Yes.
It's inside of it.
Exactly.
But if it's getting stopped, if your giant fucking logs are getting stuck right at the bend, I mean.
Well, it sounds like that is a bad design.
Well, it worked fine for me when I had to use the toilet because I did have to go number 2 when we pulled over, and it worked fine for me because I filled the bowl up with water, which is what you're supposed to do.
Mm. Well, all right.
Okay.
I guess I'll take the blame.
All right. I love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
I'm getting ready to leave, so everybody's been out except for Darla. She's up there with you on the couch. Did you notice her?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, bye.
Bye. So she puts on the glove. And I turn the water pump off so it doesn't just cascade water down the toilet for her. And I'm holding the opening of this RV toilet open with my foot. And prior to the big moment, I give her the glove. And she goes to put it on her right hand, but it's a left-handed glove. Okay? Nick describes it as, she pulled the old dry dock. Hey, you can't dry dock your shit. You got to let the water do what it's supposed to do. Bob says maybe a garbage disposal style thing in the pipe would work better. That's the poop chewer. The poop chewer is down. You don't need a poop chewer in the pipe if you just do what you're supposed to do. You can't dry dock your shit in an RV. She sees the glove. She goes, well, this is the left. I go, yeah. I'm right-handed. I go, well, Jesus fuck, I'm not asking you to fucking solve a Rubik's Cube. All you got to do is stick your goddamn hand down there and unclog the shit. And I thought she was going to beat my ass with that crack. She kind of looks, she goes, Eric. I go, bullshit, that was a good joke. Shut up. Puts a yellow glove on. I open up the Stargate, the shit Stargate, and in she goes. I got a bucket right there. I'm plugging my nose. I got the fan on above me, and it's the worst. It's so bad. Corey says, listen here, Toots, you're going to unclog my shit. Look, that wasn't my shit. That was her own shit. I noticed that when she's pulling her arm out with clumps of paper and shit, it's like wet. It's brown on her skin, and it's running down inside of the glove. I'm like, oh, Jesus. And she starts going, she's gagging on this. And you hear, she's throwing the bucket. Like, oh, my God, you sick bitch. I'm never going to touch you again. Finally, get this thing unclogged. I go, don't move. Put this arm in that bucket and carry it outside. And then it was like the scene in fucking Pulp Fiction. I might have used that joke before. When they're spraying Jules and Vincent off outside of when the wolf is squirting them down. Corey says she pooped it, her problem. I like how this started with her telling me, hey, guess what? I got bad news. And I'm like, yeah, I can't get my hand in there. The fact that this happened 2 weeks earlier, how could you let this happen again? I don't understand. Glove comes off. All that stuff gets dumped into the outhouse. I go, don't touch anything. Just walk in here. You just spray. I got like a hose outside of the RV. I'm just like spraying it down. Okay, now I'm just squirting soap on it. I go, now scrub. Rinse, scrub again. Rinse, scrub again. Rinse, scrub again. Like 4 times. I go, it'll never be clean. Never. My God. Man. So that means now twice this has happened. When we go on this trip to Maine, I've got a list of things that we need for the trip. And I shit you not, I've got bucket and rubber gloves on my list because the bucket and rubber gloves that I used was in the old trailer up north because that's where we were. So then I had to scrub the bucket out. I don't want, any remnant, disinfectant cleaner. God. Add Metamucil to that pack list. Nick says, holy shit. I finally learned a lesson with that thing I was describing to you as the car dolly. By the way, I've got a staff meeting at 11 a.m. The car dolly, we pull the Honda Civic behind the fucking camper. My property is almost like the driveway is a decline. And it's all grass. And getting a car onto a dolly is treacherous because the tires are always like slick and wet. You're going uphill to get it onto the dolly, and it's a pain in the ass. I have destroyed 2 bumpers on that exact car and another front end on the Dodge Journey from putting it onto the car dolly. And I tried to get it on, and I could sense there was a problem. I go, this is not going to work. Back the vehicle off. Okay, I go, Dinah, we're going to do this differently. We're going to take this fucking thing out to the paved road, 3/4 of a mile from here. And in the middle of the road, we're going to load this thing up. And that was fucking brilliant. Worked perfectly. Almost got stuck because it rained Saturday for literally torrential rains from like 9 or 10 in the morning till like 8 or 9 at night. I don't think I've ever seen rain quite like that. It was so intense. Jesus. So the driveway in is just a 2-track. And it was deep mud. Deep. So I've got this 8 billion pound vehicle, and I'm hauling the car dolly behind me with no car on it. Good thing I didn't have the car on it. I don't know if I would have made it. Holy shit. I start going up the drive, and it's uphill. And we get to the spot where the mud is deepest, and I could feel the tires starting to spin because the revs go up. I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, get in the gas. RV sideways. Racing up the thing. Fucking made it. And if I'd have slowed down even a little bit, I think it was kind of like one of those, a tractor pull. That's what it felt like I was doing. We got that shit done, though. Hawk Tua. Dare me to do Hawk Tua during the staff meeting. I think my favorite part of Hawk Tua is the friend cracking up at her crazy ass friend.
How many is on your roster?
There's only one I want. I love you, Pookie, forever.
How do you get over it?
Who's Pookie? Is she seen Pookie? Is that a guy she's stalking?
Breakup.
The only way to get over one is get under another. Beat the cobwebs off this thing.
This motherfucker don't miss.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh,
That
you
do?
gotta give him that Hawk Tua
Look at her. The friend is cracking up.
spit on that thing. You get me?
And that
That fucking kid. That's hysterical. That is so funny. I love you, Pookie, forever. Kenny says, I hope some quarterback in the NFL works Hawk Tua into their plays before they hike the ball this fall. All right. Thank you, folks, for enjoying the show on Facebook, on X, on YouTube. But I'm going to cut you loose. The rest of the show is available on Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, or just search my name on Twitch. You'll find it. Show goes uninterrupted on Twitch every single day, or Monday through Friday, I should say. Not to mention the audio that is this podcast is available wherever you download shows. So subscribe to that on whatever platform that you enjoy shows on. patreon.com/Eric Zane. I have a Patreon featuring the latest editions of Who Are These Freebeers and the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. They just went live over the weekend. You can check out those shows. We had a great time, as always. This is kind of a bizarre week for your old pal EZ. First of all, let me kick those folks on Facebook, X, and YouTube out. Thank you so much. Facebook and Twitch brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. X brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Follow me on those platforms as well as my YouTube channel. I'm on Instagram, Eric Zane Show. I'm on TikTok. I don't do anything with it, but whatever. Only a few more things to follow me on, right? Nick writes, I'm going to name my jet boat Hawk Tua. Tua hawks it downfield. Touchdown, Dolphins. This week is, I can only describe it as prepare for vacation week. This trip has to go off without a hitch. The drive commences on Friday. There will not be a audio or video podcast of this show. I will have not the best of the Eric Zane Show podcast on Friday. And I will have something to listen to while I'm away. And then the following week, that would be 5, July 1st through the 5th. I will also be away with not the best of shows and something to listen to while I'm away. Which Patrick had a nice observation because when I've noticed this too. I did go back and check out one of those old shows, and it was not all of it was great, but a lot of it was pretty damn good. Just a random show. It's too long to read, but Patrick had a nice post on the Eric Zane Show subreddit. I have mostly people who are sympathetic or like my show here that weigh in on posts like this. Very rarely is it somebody who hates me, but occasionally you get somebody who does. There's a lot of nice discussion in that. But I think that it's all, a lot of it has to do with our old pals, Free Beer and Hot Wings, and the way they do their show now. One of the things I wrote was, if Free Beer and Hot Wings were different but entertaining, I'd have nothing to make fun of. And that's true. There's a lot to make fun of because it's just so shitty now. But if they were 100% different but still entertaining, I mean, I got nothing. I wrote, there was a bit Friday where Greg read an article, and I listened to this on the way up north. Greg read an article from the early part of the 1900s. He went into the segment thinking it was going to be one of those pieces that was so demeaning to women that they could all have a good laugh, because people don't think that way now. Think kind of like dating advice for today's 1916 woman. I wrote, those usually spawn decent jokes, admittedly, but that wasn't the case at all with this. The article was an op-ed about women having to virtually disguise themselves as men in order to advance themselves in a male-dominated world. It wasn't anything that he thought it was going to be. There was nothing silly to riff on. Greg could have known this and opted not to bring it to the air had he read the article beforehand. Did he cut losses and punt? Nope. He soldiered on in his old-timey news voice. Zero jokes from anyone. He's just reading to people. He's reading an old 100-and-some-year-old op-ed. Because there was no content to laugh at, so zero jokes. This went on for quite some time. If you have access, you have to listen to that segment. Yeah, it was bad. Really bad. So yeah, there's a lot of comments there. You might want to check it out. I like the dynamic on the subreddit, but I would also like more people who don't like me to be there to actually contribute. I'm building the show one at a time. I'm looking at the template of people like Patrick and Jeremy K. These are the two of my most recent listeners. Patrick, about a year and a half. Jeremy, just a few months. Who, diehard Free Beer and Hot Wings show listeners. Diehards. And slowly but surely, they had a realization that this fucking sucks. And then made their way over here and are now like the most incredible supporters I could possibly have. I appreciate you guys. It is time for workplace staff meeting. So I'm going to head over to there and do that, and then I'll be back with more of this show. Thank you, though. I'll be back, and I'll talk to you then. Thank you. Bye. Okay, welcome back. Here we go. Just finished up the big staff meeting from the radio station. It was in this meeting that I found out something that I was not aware of. But boy, did it surprise me. So, you know, I do this show. I finish up the radio show, and I start doing the podcast. These little cords right here, I'm holding them up. You can see it in the corner there. These little phone jacks, whatever the fuck they are. That directs this, whatever I'm saying, to the radio station. It sends it through a bunch of boring pieces of equipment, which somehow... And the way it's supposed to work is when the broadcast day is done for your old pal EZ, there's something internally on their end that shuts it all down so that I can then continue my business day here, my podcast day here, and that'll be the end of it. Well, for some reason, it didn't quite go as planned the other day. And I just found this out via accident. Nobody told me. I guess that, like, one guy's on the air saying, hey, that's Led Zeppelin. Coming up, we're going to hear from Kansas and Toto. And while he's talking, you can hear me doing this show. Now, the first thing I thought of was, oh my God, I mean, I'm constantly saying fucking fucked up shit on here. It's entirely possible that while the guy was on the air talking about show up for the local fish fry fundraiser for, you know, the new football field, or the big cell phone store broadcast where you can get a free antenna ball and spin the wheel of wacky, that at the same time I was telling people to suck my dick. That is outrageously hysterical. I got to get that audio. Holy fuck. Now, I don't know what was said. I have no idea. Again, it all kind of came up. I had to, like, piece it together in their discussions because, you know, it's a Zoom call and they're talking about, yeah, we get the thing cleared up so we don't hear Eric doing his podcast anymore on the air. And I went, and I said, that's the first I've heard of this. And then nobody said anything. So, I don't know. But, I don't know what I said. I don't know when this happened. I know it did happen. Tyler says, we sent you an email even though your email doesn't work. Of course. So that's all weird. That just happened. That would not surprise me. I have had a knack over the years to wind things winding up on the air that shouldn't be winding up on the air. One of the many stories was when we, Ben and I got done doing the show, and I was editing an interview or a phone call, and it you know, you like pre-record it. My show's over. Dan Patrick's on. I recorded this phone call or whatever, and I was editing it, and there was an F-bomb. And so I like on this program, when you highlight the word, like it's a waveform on the screen. You've seen those before. And I'm just gonna. I got a little mark before the bad word and after, and all I got to do is hit execute. But it was a tricky edit, and I needed it to sound a certain way. So I kept like undoing it, playing it, undoing it, playing it, undoing it, playing it, trying to fine tune it, get a little closer and as to how it should sound. So in Q, I'm listening back to it, and nobody can hear it, and it's going fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. Okay, I got it. Fuck, 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 fuck. I keep hitting the space bar. Fuck, 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 fuck. Well, Crystal in the office comes in. She goes, hey. I go, yeah, what? What's up? She goes, are you swearing on the air? Because it was me saying it in the clip. I go, what? People are calling and saying you keep saying bad words on the air. Yeah, get the fuck out of here, you dumb bitch. No, what the fuck is wrong with you? Fuck, 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 fuck. And then I go, oh my God. And I see it all like the puzzle pieces fit. I look down at the board, and something that's supposed to be red is illuminated green. Holy shit. Fuck. 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 Can you imagine? I'm like, oh. Click it. Close out everything. Leave for the day. I don't know. I have no idea. I think it was just broken. Tyler says, coincidentally, that occurred right after EZ lost an hour to Dan Patrick. Oh, yeah. It's true. And then Pellerito showed up at my work without me knowing it to confront my boss. And the weirdest thing, one of the weirdest stalker moments that I've ever stalkered. Come to my work and try to convince my boss to put me back on for an hour. What? Hang on, I got to drink this coffee. I got to wake up. This staff meeting just put me to sleep today. Oh. Okay. I just thought that was unbelievable that actually happened. So there's a guy in and around the Q100 listening area. His name is Brad Jewett. He is the vice chair for Grand Traverse County. So think, you know how I talk about Ottawa County, the Board of Commissioners is led by Ottawa Impact, you know. This is the same type of level of governance, but a different county. Well, the vice chair, like number 2, had a bad weekend. You're in a bad weekend mode if your arrest involves a cooperative effort with all these agencies. The Traverse City Police Department, United States Homeland Security, Genesee County Sheriff's Office, which is the county sheriff in Flint. That's the sheriff that makes Maureen moist. I forgot his name. And also included in this arrest, Michigan State Police Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. Oh, no. The vice chair was arrested. Details are few and far in between, but Maureen says, my boyfriend, Sheriff Chris Swanson. Yes, of course, that's the guy. Well, he might even be in on this. So check this out.
A Grand Traverse County commissioner was arrested during a 5-agency undercover operation. The charges have not been revealed, but what we have learned is more about the arrest and who it was. Up North Live's Daniel Zivian joins us live in our content.
Okay, now wait till you get a load of this reporter from the newsroom breaking this story down. This is the epitome of B-team news. He looks like he actually does okay. His delivery's okay, but he looks like a 5-year-old alien.
10 Center with those details. Daniel.
Mark, the Grand Traverse County Sheriff says the operation happened Wednesday and Thursday and that there were 3 people arrested. I spoke to County Commission Chair Rob Henschel, who confirmed that Vice Chair Brad Jewett was one of them.
He was booked and released. I know Brad is spending some time with his family right now, and they would appreciate respecting their privacy.
Okay. If I'm Brad Jewett and I just got busted by the Children's Sex Crimes Task Force for something we don't know what, I'm going to say that time spent with family is not so fun. The last people I'm going to want to see if I get arrested by the Internet Crime Sex Traffic Kids Task Force, whatever the fuck it is, last group I'm going to want to see is my family.
The sheriff says the Michigan Internet Crimes Against Children.
This is the guy. Okay, now, you can never trust a guy whose hairline goes that low. My God. That is a weird look. That is a bad head of hair. Not only is his hairline weird, but he cuts it. Well, that's a Northern Michigan thing. Of course, you're going to show up to the county commission meeting dressed like a goddamn lumberjack with a bad haircut.
Task force was involved in the arrests, along with Traverse City Police, Homeland Security, and the Genesee County Sheriff. Meanwhile, county administrator...
Hold on, let's back up. I need to look at that hair again. Look at that hairline here. It goes way low, and then he's got this weird type of...
Homeland Security
cut.
And the Genesee County Sheriff. Meanwhile, County Administrator Nate Alger says the allegations will not be taken lightly.
The accusations and the potential charges are very serious, and we take them as such, and we'll respond accordingly. So we have a meeting on June 26th. It's a special meeting, which is next Wednesday, and there are 9 commissioners, and the county will be doing business as usual from a business standpoint on the 26th.
As I understand the nature
Okay, that means that this guy could be there.
of the allegations do not affect Commissioner Jewett's ability to vote on financial matters at all. Whether Commissioner Jewett is taking more family time.
What an ugly man. How'd you like to be the 11-year-old girl he was propositioning?
On the 26th still, or
Allegedly, of course.
whether he'll be there, I don't know. That's yet to be determined.
I also spoke to Chief
And then this guy.
Assistant Prosecutor Kyle Atwood, who said the sheriff's office had not submitted their evidence as of today, contrary.
He looks like, what's those publications that you see that the nerds buy, the LARPers? Is it manga? Manga? He looks like manga art or hentai art.
To what the sheriff said. He did say that if the commissioner is charged, standard practice would be to send it to the Attorney General's office, which would either handle the case or appoint a special prosecutor. Live in the Content Center, Daniel Zivian, Up North Live News.
Yeah, for a guy who looks as screwed up as he is, that guy did a pretty good job. And then they followed it up with the Representative Neil Frisky being released from jail. Boy, what a bunch of fucking assholes we have around here. If all of this is true. I'll just say they're probably both assholes. Frisky, I know, is an asshole because up north, Justin used to work for Frisky. Part of the property management team that he used to help maintain Frisky's properties up north. And according to Justin, that guy's a real piece of shit. Then you get this guy with the bad hair. Gets arrested by the Internet Crimes Task Force Against Children or whatever the fuck it is. Holy shit. By the way, they're both Republicans. Oh, no. We got to protect the children from groomers. And my dick. Fucking assholes. Hang on. He looks like Alfred E. Newman a bit from Mad Magazine talking about that reporter. Chris says, not all of us have hair of the gods like EZ. No, you do, Chris. Come on now. Jeremy says, what's worse, that guy's hair or Greg's? Greg's is definitely worse. Maureen says he'd have a lot of nerve to show up for business as usual concerning this dude, Brad Jewett. Bob says he's going to have to learn how to hawk tour in prison real quick. Tyler says 5-year-old alien is perfect. There is no better way to describe this reporter's appearance. Thank you. I appreciate that. I started to get into this in the first act of the show on this Monday, but I have to literally, I have so much to make sure that this vacation goes off as planned, and I'm really, really concentrating on, now these are first world problems here, that I don't fuck this up. All I'm looking to do is make sure that everybody has a good time. That's it. Okay? And in order to do that, I have to be prepared. This is the long way of me telling you that I am skipping the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast and the Who Are These episode for this week. I'm calling my shot about fraudulence. I'm trying to put as many things on the back burner in order to focus on the appropriate preparation so that this is a fruitful endeavor. That is my goal. So just a word of warning. There will not be any fraudulent shows. There will not be a big fraud show. Big Fraud Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This week, next week, we have off. The week after, we will get back at it. I know you are going to love, though, the episodes that I have in place for something to listen to while I'm away. And the reason why I say that is, and that's on Patreon, of course, because there's some incredible footage that I'm excited about that I don't think I've ever really heard in a long, long time. Something to listen to while I'm away. Let me see. I've got this all set up here. The show was off today. This is as I wrote it back in 2010. The show was off. Okay, so the show that I'm giving you on something to listen to while I'm away, which will publish, I believe this is going to publish on Friday, happened on March 11th, 2010. Back then, when we would do a best of show, we would still post it. So I have that, thanks to Aram, and I'm posting it for you. Today's best of show will feature the Tono guy I wrote back in 2010. Prophet Yahweh interview. Producer Joe's apples on the driving range. Home remedy calls and stories. The soda pop bottle lady, she's hilarious. Dude Chataway interviews Jordan Knight. The wrestler with no arms and no legs. Those are all available. The next day, same thing. We took a couple of days off. Producer Joe's penis song street performer. Zane beat up for his scooter purchase after gas prices fell. Norm Macdonald interview. Zane's old man sweater. Dave Attell interview. Those are all great bits. I have never listened to that sweater beat up bit. Producer Joe's wheelchair hill climb. Hamster euthanasia, the very first telling of that. The pull match game. What do you hate about our show? Zane's fake news report about a Japanese-speaking baseball manager. Master Flynn, the Jedi lightsaber teacher. Those are all in different episodes of something to listen to while I'm away. I think probably the highlight of that is going to be the either the Dude Chataway Jordan Knight interview and or the sweater beat up, which a lot of you remember that it was an epic beat up, but don't remember the specifics of how it all went down. Bob says, is Old Man Sweater the one with the big pocket buttons? Yes. I got the shit beat out of me for that thing. That's one of the reasons why it's so fun to make fun of their show, because Greg's hair right now should warrant a beat up, but they're walking on Greg shells. I've made this point before. Jeremy writes, easy. Could you imagine if they did What Do You Hate About the Show Now? Rocky writes, are these podcasts from when you were on the Free Beer and Hot Wings show? You have to. This is what you need to do, Rocky. You need to sign up for 7 days free It doesn't cost you anything. And check those out. They haven't published yet. They start to publish. Well, there's several of them available right now on Patreon under the collections Something to Listen to While I'm Away. You got it. If you're not signed up on Patreon, you're missing out. Tono guy is classic. Chris says, are we doing the Amanda and Ben show? I don't know if that's going to go down the way we hope that it would. Because I haven't spoken with Ben about it even in the slightest. So we might have bitten off more than we can chew. That's a nice, easy way of me telling you, no, I don't think it's going to work. The reason why is because there's a lot of stuff that I need to do. I said a little bit of a lot of stuff that I need to do to teach Ben to make it all happen. And I'm not going to have the time. I'm just not going to have the time. I apologize. Fun to think about, fun to talk about, but I don't know if that's going to work. All right. So at the golf outing yesterday, that was one of the PGA Tour golf fucking things. I don't know what the fuck it was. The Travelers Championship. Scotty Scheffler won. That's a guy who got arrested before the one thing. He's fine now. All the charges were dropped. But the latest thing now is these environmental activists who want us to stop using oil have been showing up at sporting events, whatever, and then they show up, raise 5 kinds of hell, get arrested. And that happened on the 18th green, just as Scotty Scheffler was about to win his tournament. These environmental activists showed up, and we need to discuss this. Here we go. Okay, you can see the guy running out. He's going to run through the bunker here. And then these 2 cops are chasing him.
Oh, boy.
And then here comes another one.
We've got a whole group of protesters here.
Jim Nance.
And they've been tackled on the ground, on the green.
Yeah, it's, I guess, a rule in TV that you don't show this. And I'm like, you assholes. We have to show this.
Police have responded quickly, but we've got... I see
People are chanting USA.
4 protesters that have been handcuffed. They just came flying down the hill out of the gallery.
If you're the golfers, you want to just go up and like hit them with your clubs.
There's actually 5 now.
They all start chanting, asshole, asshole. And then they go to a different mic so you can't hear it.
There's some red powder right in the area of the cup.
Yeah, about 4 feet away. And as everybody was running around the green, you kind of wonder what sort of footprints were left out there.
The guys are breaking down whether or not the running on the green is going to affect the path of the ball.
Other than the paint, Trevor, there is no apparent damage.
Okay, I got a different view of this. This is from the gallery. You see these people come running out onto the course. Hold on, rest in peace to your ears. You asshole. Did you hear that? Oh, it's just making a whole mockery of the fucking thing. I don't,
Scheffler and police.
Somebody made the comment, Scheffler and police. So, all right. The organization Just Stop Oil. Protesters, climate activists ran with spray paint and threw smoke grenades as they stormed the green at the 18th hole of the River Highland Golf Course in Cromwell, Connecticut. I guess, I'm not going to take the time to look up what the fuck they want. There's another report that says that the group is known as the Extinction Rebellion. Climate activists. I think you got to be a real fucking idiot to think that we as human beings, the way we do business here, that we would ever be able to stop utilizing fossil fuels for everything that we have. Everything that we use to exist on this planet is dependent on fossil fuels. Everything. One way, maybe through a couple of steps, but outside of us just going back to a horse-drawn wagon, and it isn't so much about just transportation. You realize fossil fuels are needed for most, if not all, of our medical devices that keep us alive longer. You know that hospital tubing that's going into your fucking body during your goddamn chemotherapy? Yep, that's made by fossil fuel. Everything, we are dependent on everything. Whether the transportation of the goods. And look, I want the planet to be here as much as the next guy. Who wouldn't want the planet to be here for as long as humanly possible? But there's got to be a big fucking asterisk. As long as I don't have to go back to horse-drawn buggy and wondering how I'm going to get my medicine delivered to my body. So fuck off. Fuck right off. I think it's very important to note that every time we need, as a society, every time one of these protests happens, we need to strike back and go buy some motor oil and pour it into our storm drains. Or just right in the ground. I've got gallons and gallons of oil that are in fucking containers since I started changing the oil on the truck. Those need to be dumped in area ponds and streams. They need to be just thrown out into like wildlife preserves. Drop from helicopters into zoos and shit like that. Chris says, didn't you say you threw it away in the trash? Yes, that's true. But there's a lot of oil. I didn't throw it all away at once. It was too heavy for the goddamn can. It's real simple. Grass, jugs of oil, more grass. Nobody knows. Megan says, Eric. All right. So maybe I'll take a few jugs over to Irvine so that she doesn't get pissed off at me. Piano Finger Banger says, Jesus Christ. For every time we see these protesters, this is what we need to do. We need to strike back. Same thing as when those fucking people were gluing their hands to the basketball court because of chickens being slaughtered. Go buy a bunch of chickens and throw them away. Bob with the great suggestion, don't forget to dispose of your old car batteries in your local water source, river, lake, ocean. Exactly. Bridge, great place to throw some batteries. Always keep a dead battery next to you in the front seat of your car in case you're going over a bridge at a time when no one is looking. You can fucking throw that thing off the side like Jack Black punting Baxter. All right. Nick says, I recycle by painting my flatbed trailer deck with old oil. That I believe. So I don't know what these fucking people hope to achieve. I mean, what's the end game? All you do is make yourselves look like assholes. Like there's somebody in the world that's going to go, God, they got some good points. I mean, you can't just show up at a golf event waving around smoke bombs and expect anybody to be convinced that they should maybe, I don't know, be less dependent on oil. You're going to have to really commit, like set yourself on fire. If someone's willing to set themselves on fire, I think I'm more likely to do a quick Google search on whoever you're representing. If that happens, perhaps it's worth a look. But no, I'm not gonna go out on a limb to see what you're all about just because you show up on the golf course and wave around smoke bombs, you assholes. All right. Dave Grohl apparently does not like Taylor Swift. Dave Grohl just gave a new meaning to My Hero. Watch him talk about Taylor Swift for not singing live at her concerts, which I didn't know she didn't sing live. I mean, I have no idea. She probably has a background track with her voice, and then she sings on top of that to give it an extra layer, but who cares? There's got to be some method to the madness. I don't think Taylor Swift fans care that she doesn't sing. This is what Dave said.
Just a couple. That's because we actually play live. What? Just saying. We're a live band. You guys like live rock and roll music, right? You came to the right fucking place.
Okay, I thought that clip was going to say something that it didn't. Because the post says, watch him rip on Taylor Swift for not singing live at her concerts. I didn't hear him say anything about Taylor Swift. I feel like Freebeer for not previewing that clip first. I wouldn't have played it. Piano Finger Banger says there's a lot more to the clip. Okay, it says play the rest. Well, there is no more. I played it. It's 29 seconds long, and I played 29 seconds. All right, maybe this is it.
So we like to call our tour the Errors Tour. Because I feel like we've had more than a few errors, and more than a few fucking errors as well. Just a couple. That's because we actually play live. What?
Ah, I see.
Just saying. We're a live band. You guys like live rock and roll music, right? We came to the right fucking place.
Okay, so Dave throwing that type of shade, that's totally fine. I get it. Maybe he's not a big fan. But Rocky says there's more to the damn video. I hope I got it all. Did I get it all? I hope I got it all. That's all that I was able to see. I can't imagine him talking that much longer. How much time is he going to spend talking about Taylor Swift? I wonder what the history is. Why would he take a run at her? Jeremy says Swifties are butthurt over that. I think all she needs to do is say scoreboard. Because I noticed that in that venue that he was playing in, it wasn't sold out. There was a lot of open space there. I think that if she just basically showed up anywhere, she would be able to pack any place. I don't give a shit about her or her music. But she makes a fucking shit ton more money than he does. So, I don't know. To me, that sounds a little bit like jealousy. Maybe? I don't know. Doesn't that sound like a little bit like jealousy to you? Couldn't that be interpreted as some jealousy on the part of Dave Grohl? I can't think of any performer outside of the Beatles that have been as popular than Taylor Swift. And why, Patrick says, it's an odd battle to pick. It's like, where does that come from? Is this his way of like having a wrestling work or something like that? And Dave, he'll do a duet with anybody. You know, he brings up his fucking neighbor to play. He's always bringing up odd people to play with him. That would be a duet. That would be a fantastic duet, I think. Taylor Swift and Dave Grohl. Maybe he just doesn't like her because of who was the comedian? There was some comedian who at some award show who made a crack about her, and she got so butthurt about that. My God. I'll tell you this about her. Based on that moment, I don't know if she can take a joke as well as most people. You got to have a big fucking ego if you're in that line of work. David says, if you're not playing live, why have a concert? Just stream it. Well, look, the thing about it is, I don't believe for a second that at a Taylor Swift show, there's no one doing any performing. Most acts, particularly that, which have choreography and shit like that, they do have a backing track. It's no big deal. And then she and the band would perform along with it. It just adds depth. Happens all the fucking time. The Devil Within says that Dave's daughter made tweets about her earlier in the year. Taylor Swift's fans came after Dave's daughter. Oh, yeah. They should. I would love that. I would love it if anybody even thought something bad about your old pal EZ. That I wish I had that type of pull. Just do my bidding. They just go out and slaughter people on my behalf. That to me is a true sign of success. All right. Her being able to cultivate an audience that if she wanted to, she could be the next Charles Manson on an even bigger level. Think about this. In the palm of her hand, She could single-handedly cause destruction of millions of people. All she has to do is say, kill, and they're going to go kill for her. Nick says, I've seen a country artist have a guy behind a curtain playing his acoustic guitar, his acoustic part, so he could try and look cool with a guitar. I believe that. Nate says Swift versus Biden 2028. The thing about that is if she wants Biden to win, she can easily make Biden win. It's up to her. Bob says, I said it before, like an hour ago, and I'll say it again. Taylor Swift makes music for girls who don't hawk to her. Yeah, I would suspect that you're right on that, and that the girls at the Foo Fighters concert would hawk to her. All right. Then there was the comment about, I think Dave was just riffing with the crowd. Can't imagine there's a big crossover between Foo Fighters and Taylor Swift. Easy crowd hype, I think. Absolutely. But the Swift fans aren't going to take it that way. Grohl family members' lives are in danger. You just don't fuck with her. Okay, so this clip, if you're not watching it, you'll have to click on the links in my show notes of high school baseball player crushes home run, does a bat flip, and it absolutely hits the umpire right in the head. Wait, watch this ump. Watch how he falls over after getting clocked with the bat. That ump goes down Looney Tunes style. My God. It was like when Wile E. Coyote gets hit in the head with an anvil. Oh, he just murdered that ball. And that ump goes down. The guy's rounding third. He's like, oh, no. A lot of people are saying that ump was that was a flop. Patrick says the ump looked like Ric Flair taking a ridiculous bump, which is what this guy said. Ump should get into the WWE. Most ridiculous flop I've ever seen. Dude fell like he was in a movie. I love the meme of Mario as he's about to lose consciousness from whatever Mario game this is. Ump gets an Oscar. So there you go. I don't know. I think he was actually out. I mean, you get hit in the head by a bat and tell me that it feels good. I don't know if you can necessarily just shake that off like, it's fine. It didn't even hurt. Nick says it looked like it was only the small end of the bat. So a lot of suggestions that ump was faking it. Jeremy says we need a drop machine. Anvil hit when the bat hits him. Birds tweeting around his head. No, we cannot have a drop machine. I've got a policy about the drop machine. It must be run by a secondary individual person who may or may not have a mic. They don't necessarily need to have one. I'm not doing it. I tried that. I have a drop machine, the drop machine. But doing the show with a drop machine is, in my opinion, very, very restrictive. Chris knows what I'm talking about. He says, yeah, or else you're talking your way into drops and forcing it. The best part about drops was the out of left fieldness of it. Like when Ben would play shit and would just stop me dead in my fucking tracks. Or when I would play it and stop the other idiots that I did the show with in their tracks. I can't do it. Chris references the looks like a monster drop. Guy who played Kevin from The Office. I think we were describing some fucking war vet who got his face blew off. They were honoring him at something during something on TV. Who knows? I don't even remember. I just remember the feeling of, oh my God, we're going to get fired. And Ben looks like a monster. Jesus. All right. More sports news. The last time I saw anything about drag racing was the last time someone in drag racing got into a crash, a bad crash. That happened over the weekend. There's pretty much two people in drag racing that, if you're going to know anybody, it would be these two. It'd be Shirley Cha-Cha Muldowney or John Force. These guys get in these fucking cars, and in like a quarter mile, they get up to speeds of like 300 miles an hour. John Force, I thought he was dead. He's like 75 years old behind the wheel of this thing. And it fucked him up pretty bad, but he's alive. This is what happened.
Cup Bluey. John Force just blew the thing up and slammed into the wall at the top.
I don't know why they went off of it. They're going to go back to it.
Take a look at this. 302 miles an hour. Banging into the walls.
Obviously, it's in slow motion right now.
Watch Terry Haddock first puff the tire. He's going to pedal it. John's car starts moving around. And kablooey.
Wow. Okay. So the inside of the car, everything's burning. He's surrounded by fire right now in the cockpit of this car. Fire kind of goes out. See it blow up again from this angle.
Banks it off of the right wall, and then the real big hit, in my eye, looked like when he came back across.
Jesus.
That is a big-time explosion for a guy that's had a lot of big-time explosions.
Okay. Now he's waving his hand.
Wow, he didn't even get that.
Oh, no, he's not. That's a shit falling off the car.
Well, I thought he went over and banked off one and came back for the other, but look at this thing. Traveling across the racetrack. Fortunately for Terry Haddock, he was slowed down.
How's he not dead?
Down to the point that he was out of the way, and man, that is a big-time hit into the concrete down there.
Oh.
Said John Force has been through some very, very wild rides in his career.
Where is he?
And I'm going to put that one in the top 3 or 4.
Oh, my God. Okay, so he's okay. He got banged up.
For a guy to go through that.
Banged up a little. But, I mean, you think about that, and then you think about, like, what happened to Earnhardt at Daytona, who was traveling 100 miles less when he hit the wall.
No matter what his age or what kind of shape he's in.
God damn.
To be conscious alert talking to the safety personnel is incredible. I think it is a great testament to the people that build the race cars.
Yeah,
in this case, they build them in-house at John Force Racing. The safety equipment manufacturers, the rules makers.
Oh, my God. There he is.
Make it way, way, way more often than not, no matter how scary it looks.
Holy shit. That is fucking nuts. The next that concludes our drag racing portion of the show. We will talk about that again the next time there is some crazy crash. Tyler points out drivers burning alive and announcer goes kablooey. All right. We have to add to our list of drag race drivers. I have heard of this guy. Big Daddy Don Garlitz. Okay, so you got John Force, which sounds like a made-up name, Shirley Cha-Cha Muldowney, and Big Daddy Don Garlitz. Those are the only 3 drag racers that anyone would ever know. I don't give a shit what he's done or she's done. Wasn't there a guy recently, a couple years ago, who hooked a jet motor on the back of a truck? And it blew up? And the guy died? Jet engine. I can't type. Truck death. I think that happened in Michigan. Yeah, it was at Michigan. That was fucking crazy, too. I can't imagine how fast that guy was going. It was at the air show. One of the air shows locally. And to me, that's a great air show. If you're at an air show and some fucked up shit happens, I mean, that's excitement.
In the sky overnight, honoring Chris Darnell, who died during a fiery stunt in Battle Creek, Michigan over the weekend. The air show crowd watching first.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was in the jet truck, and he was racing an airplane. I remember now. And he was winning the race.
The air show crowd watching first in amazement. Then horror as Darnell's fuel truck emerged from behind a ball of fire, then flipped several times before erupting in flames.
At what point did you realize something had gone terribly wrong?
Oh, when the Hiroshima-sized mushroom cloud erupted.
He was rolling and pieces of the truck were flying all over.
The audience stunned.
A lot of people gasped. Some people started praying for him.
The Shockwave jet truck, racing more than 300 miles per hour, had a tire blowout, Darnell's family says. They say that caused the car to skid and the gas tanks to burst, igniting the blaze.
And we've watched him perform over and over and over his whole family. And never seen anything like that out here, right? Just don't expect that.
Oh, I do. If I'm going to an air show, I'm going there with death on my mind.
Darnell's 2 daughters were at the show when the fatal accident happened. He had been driving the flaming trucks for decades and celebrated his 40th birthday just last month. We are so sad, Darnell's father shared.
Did she say birthday?
In a Facebook post. He was so well loved by...
All right, now it's getting sad. Tyler says, I'll bet you that nobody there said kablooey as flaming chunks of dude were flying all over the place. Maybe we should add that guy to the Mount Rushmore of drag racers. Dead jet truck guy, Chris Darnell. Dead jet truck guy, Chris Darnell. Big Daddy Don Garlitz. Shirley Cha-Cha Muldowney. And John Kablooey Force. I don't know, man. Those adrenaline sports kind of think you're rolling the dice. God knows what the fuck can happen to you. All right. That's that. Our beloved love of raccoons, that would be Megan and myself. This would be something. I hope she's watching. I don't know if she is. But this one just kind of popped. There was a couple camping somewhere around here in Michigan. And this fat-ass raccoon came walking up. And around here, especially these campsites, most people feed the raccoons. Now, you're not supposed to do that because then they come back. They're all, it's like feeding a cat, You don't want to, you got to let them forage for their own food. Because when they start to get like nuisance-like with a dozen of them just show up on the campground, sometimes that's a problem, and then they have to go and they have to, I don't know if they actually euthanize or just shoot them dead. I hope they don't. But probably not the best idea to feed the raccoons. Plus, it's not good for their health. They're always, like, Michigan raccoons are fat as fuck. This one is no exception. Except the guy who is in this video, he gave the raccoon a big fucking piece of cheese. And the raccoon's like, fuck yes, give me that cheese. And he just shoves it right in his mouth. And then he gets choked. The raccoon gets choked. So the guy who gave him the cheese is like, oh, fuck, we got to save the raccoon. So that's what he did. You'll see him banging on the thing's back, trying to get it to cough up the big.
He helped it. I think that he hasn't.
He's choking on the cheese.
He is choking, though. A little bit lower, Bill. Upward motion. There you go.
Oh, he just spit it out. He spit it out. It worked.
A little bit lower, Bill.
Look at how big that fucking raccoon is.
Upward motion. There you go. There it is. A little bit lower. Let's take it. Let's go. You're not going to die.
This raccoon is like, you assholes.
I hope you got that.
Oh my fucking God.
That was terrible.
These guys are shit-faced. This is a classic Michigan campsite. They're just sitting around getting drunk as fuck, feeding the raccoon.
No.
The fat fuck raccoon gets choked, and then that asshole brings it back to life. Look at him. He can't even move.
No way, dude. Oh my God.
You saved his life, dude. That's hilarious.
Oh. Fucking idiots. Yeah, I wouldn't feed them. But, honestly, if I say that, but if they came walking up at Fear Bunker North, I'd probably feed them. Jeremy says the raccoon looks so embarrassed. I'm just a Chris. Chris K says there's no drinking involved here at all. You can just tell. Cole writes, we have to save the raccoon so the Division of Wildlife can euthanize him later. Piano Finger Banger writes, that cheese got hawk to it. Kenny says that guy is hero of the day. And Megan says he's opposite of asshole of the day. Maybe we should have a hero of the day. We could start that on the show. He would have to be it. He saved the raccoon. I mean, seriously. By the way, Fear Bunker North, further solidifying that Pooh Bear is never going to spend a night in the old trailer. I went in there, and of the 5 traps I had down, 3 of them had decomposing mice inside of them. All right? And the smell of anything that was once alive decomposing, it's horrible. It's one of the worst smells you could ever smell in your life. So I go into the trailer. I put on my little gloves, my plastic gloves. I grab the traps. I set them outside, and then I open up windows and turn on the exhaust fan, try to get the smell of that out. Then I scrub with Pine Sol the floor because they died on the floor, and then so there's kind of like rot juice jelly on the floor when I pulled up the traps. They like stuck to the ground, you know? So it was all sorts of brain smudge and coagulated ass blood down there, and I had to clean it all up. Pooh Bear's disgusted beyond belief. And then I open up the closet, and there's these two little fucking eyes looking at me. And it's a mouse, and he's alive, and he's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, hey. And he's very fast. He takes off, and he goes into a spot where I can't reach him. I wouldn't chase him anyway. I'm going to let the trap do the trick. Then I'm like, okay, what do I do? I'm like, I know what I got to do. I got to put a trap down. I got to catch that little fucker. Because if I wait, I was going to wait until like the day we left. This is on like Thursday or Friday when I saw the mouse. Like if I wait until we're about to leave, the trap's going to catch him, and then he's going to decompose. There's going to be all sorts of corpse goulash seeping out onto another portion of the inside of the trailer. So I set that fucking trap. Sure enough, I close the door. I go walking out of the trailer, and I hear pop. That fucker came out right after I walked out of there. And I go, well, that's it. And I feel bad. I actually do feel bad. You know? But, I mean, what can I do? They're coming into my place. I was considering getting a couple of mouser cats. You know, you go to you go to Harbor Humane, they've got mousers. These cats are feral or outside all the time. They eat wildlife. They eat fucking voles and moles and goddamn mice. I was thinking about having a water source, perpetual water source, perpetual food source, and let mousers take advantage of the place and just lay waste. Part of me thinks I should do that. Anyway, Pooh Bear says, well, I'm never going in there. Ever. Amy says all cats are mousers if you let them go outside. Well, yeah, I would get them just to be there. The outside would be their home. I'd have like a little cat box for them. Anyway, there's a couple new spots that I think I can access that might lead to where I'm getting breached. I still have not yet found that. I have no idea where the breach is taking place. One day I have to figure this out. My God. All right. I have yet to talk about some of the amazing sponsors that help make this show possible. First of all, King's Room Barbershop. They are getting set to celebrate their 50th year. That is July 8th through the 13th. You go into any King's Room Barbershop, get a haircut, spin the wheel. Whatever it lands on, that's the price you pay for the haircut. You will pay no more than what the price is, the going rate. And if you have to pay that, you spin the wheel and get prizes. T-shirts, product, you name it. Also, everybody who gets a haircut is registered for a beautiful flat screen TV that they are giving away. Head over to King's Room Barbershop during that week, starting on the 8th, for the 50-year anniversary of King's Room Barbershop. Caledonia, Northland Drive, 821 36th Street in beautiful Wyoming, Michigan. When it comes to life insurance, Frank Fuss, buyinsurancehere.com. Go to that website, fill out the information, and then Frank will get in touch with you. And you're like, easy life insurance? What do I care about life insurance? Idiot, especially if you're young. Okay? You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars of insurance for a pittance, for God's sake, depending on your age and how healthy you are. Some of you young audience members, my God, you have to get your life insured, Okay? If something untimely happens to you, the last thing you want is your loved ones having to have this horrible burden of figuring out life because you didn't buy life insurance. Even if you're single, you need life insurance. Reach out to Frank today at buyinsurancehere.com. He'll take care of you for everything. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV, 616-532-6600. That's irvines.com if you need any help with your vehicles. I'm expecting Jackie to call you, Megan. I was driving her car, and the brakes felt a little weird. Jackie, yeah. Hey, you got to call Irvine's. Why? Because your brakes feel weird. What do you mean? Well, I think they need to be looked at. Work fine for me. I go, yeah, I know. I know they work fine for you, but I'm telling you, it's making a funny noise and they're grabbing. I think that's a sign that they need to be looked at. She thinks I'm a fucking idiot. I'm like, just trust me, okay? Anyway, Irvines.com in Grand Rapids if you need any help with your car. Early bird drop-off, late bird pickup, pay over the phone. You can get a loaner car so that you keep moving. No big deal. And then there's my man, Joe Martinez, 616-516-8579 if you have any issues with your AC. Boy, that was a rough week last week. My God. 616-516-8579. Get your AC installed today from Joe Martinez. All right. What else do I have to talk about today? How about this? This MMA fighter goes down on one knee to propose to his significant other. He wants to marry her. Now, this was all in his plan. The problem is, one of the problems is he lost the fight. He lost his MMA fight. But it's going to be a great day because he's going to drop to a knee and propose to his girl. And it's going to be awesome. So despite losing, no big deal, right? He's still going to get the girl. Well, see if you can tell by the body language what's going on here, because it's in a different language. All right. Now, he's looking down, so he can't see what we see. He pulls out the ring, and look what she does. She's got a look on her face like, oh, my God, this is the worst day of my life. And she even says, oh, my God. I guess he said, will you marry me in whatever language. And then this dude puts the mic right up to her. Okay, there. I don't know what she said, but I know it was at that point. She's saying no, and then he's all dejected. Look at this guy shows up. He throws water on the chick. So I guess that guy is like, I mean, why can't a chick say no? Just because a guy is doing it in front of thousands of people doesn't mean you're obligated to say yes. I think if you're dating an MMA guy who just lost his fight and he's an MMA guy, you have to say no. I mean, these are fucking idiots to begin with. Sensing the opportunity, knowing that this guy is a loser, A, because he just lost, and B, because he's dropping to one knee in front of all these fucking people. She may have been considering marrying him. Like, if the fight's going on, he loses, and she's like, boy, I love him so much. If we get to a private moment and he asks me to marry him, I'm going to marry him. Instead, he does it in front of the world. And she's like, oh, fucking shit. Bob says she's going to get over him by getting under someone new. You get over one by getting under one. That's what Haktua Chick said. Patrick says, if you ask someone to marry you and they say no, doesn't that end the relationship? I think so. I don't know. I've never, I guess it's possible. I think what you do is, if you're going to salvage it, okay, you ask, hey, will you marry me? No. And you take the ring, put it back, and then, wait a couple days. Maybe ask her if she wants to go get like a pizza. Bring it back a little. I don't think that necessarily ends a relationship. All that means is that you weren't good enough. You got to do better. Why would a guy who loves someone, I know I would be motivated. Let's say I asked somebody to marry me and they said no. I wouldn't even ask why. I would reassess what I've done to make her think that I'm a piece of shit. It's obvious that I've done something. Or maybe she's just like, fuck, I just don't want to marry you. Chris says he needed a waterbed and $27 for a good ring. I'll have you know that ring cost me north of $100. God damn it. That's right. $100 engagement ring. I was laying in our waterbed. She came home for nap time. It was under her pillow. She put her arm under her pillow to rest, and she's like, what's this? And she pulled it out, and it was right there. And I said, hey, will you marry me? And she said, yes. And then we boned. Now that's romantic. No planning involved. Nowadays, when people ask someone to marry them, they got to have it's got to be a big deal, it seems like, especially with young people. Like when Justin asked Jackie to marry her, he had like clues all over the city. I'm not even kidding you. And she had to drive to the spot. She had to decode the clue to get to the next spot, to get the next clue. It was like a fucking scavenger hunt. Amy asks, where does one even find a ring for $100? Well, you got to understand, though. This was 1990. This was like Mr. 10 era. And it was a tiny, tiny, tiny diamond. It was a diamond, though. And then, that was it. I got her and then I started earning more money. I was able to buy her another ring in 1998. I think she's on her third or fourth ring. Tyler says, I did the same thing with my wife. Scavenger hunt going around was as small as the top of like those super small nails. I don't even know what the fuck. Or Tyler wrote, I did the same thing with my wife. Scavenger hunt going around to important locations for us. First date, first kiss, etc. That's the same thing that Justin and Jackie did. Piano Finger Banger says, 4th ring. What ring number are you on? I think 2. I think this is the second one. Oh, no, I took it off. Amanda's going to have a fucking heart attack. All right. Amy says, Google says that $100 in 1990 is $240 today. That's still a piece of shit ring. All right. I want to read this. This is from, I wanted to go back to this. I was talking about this earlier. Patrick started this thing on the subreddit. And one of the comments was by, I think, a convert named Ted Stryker. I don't know who Ted is. I mean, I know the character Ted Stryker. I don't have any issue with Freeburn Hot Wings evolving over time and not being the same thing it used to be, but it's just not the least bit entertaining anymore. Nobody on that show is funny, and if they're not funny, it should be interesting, and it's definitely not that. Oh, well, it was a good run. I just miss looking forward to getting the podcast and then listening to it for a few hours every day. Eric's podcast can be a little tough to listen to, since a lot of the interaction is with people typing things on the screen for the most part. Wait a minute. Hold on a second here. You got to understand, that is my request line. That is my text line. If I wasn't interacting with people, I would not. This show would be a lot shittier if I didn't have those types of interactions. You have to have that. There has to be some type of interaction, especially when I'm alone looking at a goddamn camera. Which one of you fuckers wrote that? I need to know who wrote. Eric's podcast can be a little tough to listen to since a lot of the interaction is with people. That's a good reason to listen to it, you asshole. The ones with Ben can be pretty funny. It still doesn't replace what Freeburn Hot Wings show used to be, even after Zane, and that's also fine. Unlike Freeburn Hot Wings, I at least listen to Eric's and laugh. All right, well, you saved it there. You were careening off the side of the cliff there. Chris writes, at least you have a real audience, and you're not just reading, am I the asshole on Reddit from strangers? LOL. Thank you. All right. Before I wrap this up, let's just get this out of the way. The hero of the day is drunk raccoon Heimlich maneuver guy. I think I know who asshole of the day can be, but I'm going to keep that a secret for right now. Buy now, refinance later. Jackie and Justin are on the verge of doing just that with the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. They are first-time home buyers, and Mario guided them every step of the way. They're this close. Word on the street is they're ready to put in an offer on a home. Buy now, refinance later. 231-332-6505 for the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. TC Paintball invites you to check them out this summer. Get a group together and go see Rick over at TC Paintball. Book your event today at tcpaintballgr.com. Whether it's workplace team building, bachelor party, neighborhood kids getting together for a good time. You can even use the low-impact weaponry for the little guys who are just getting used to paintball. tcpaintballgr.com. Thank you. Racing at Berlin this weekend. BerlinRaceway.com. Last weekend I was promoting races. There were no races. The Berlin Fair was. That's embarrassing. Anyway, racing this weekend, $14 a pop at BerlinRaceway.com. Jennison Pool and Spa Depot on Chicago Drive. So when you are going eastbound on Chicago Drive, you will see Jennison Pool and Spa Depot right in Jennison, Michigan. Blue storefront, can't miss it. Call them at 616-457-0500. Get all your pool supplies there if you need any help with any of the pieces of equipment for your pool or your hot tub. That is who you call at Jennison Pool and Spa Depot, 616-457-0500. All my sponsors are very important to me. Please patronize the sponsors if you can. Your asshole of the day today. I'm going to have to go with drag race announcer. As John Force is being burned alive, announcer flippantly says, "Oh, kablooey!" Good point, Tyler. I like that. Your hero of the day is the guy who saved the raccoon's life. All raccoon lives matter. Drag race announcer is your asshole of the day, brought to you by our friends at TC Paintball. That is my time. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you on the Patreon. Till then, bye-bye.